I'm going to talk about how you can instantly transform your relationship with food. I'm going to share 7 mindsets that will instantly transform your approach to eating. And that's going to really set the stage for you to make all of these changes to your life and make it feel easy. Because when we start with our mind, everything goes so much more nicely. But if you start by forcing your body to do certain things that you're just not ready for, then you go through yo-yo cycles forever. But today I'm going to share 7 mindsets that are really powerful, that are all around eating and the way that you're treating yourself. So let's get into it. Okay, so now I want to give you really a new mindset for self-care. Okay, now self-care is so important because a lot of times that's what we're actually doing when we're feeding our cravings with unhealthy foods. So when you are looking at, when you're thinking about your cravings and when you're having them, think about, is what you're eating giving you energy? Is it giving you energy? Now, energy is one of the top high performance habits. So this is talked about in a book called High Performance Habits by Brendon Burchard. And he shares that creating energy is one of the habits that high performing people are very conscious of. Now, whether you're using food, whether you're thinking about it in the context of high performance, or whether you're just thinking about how you feel in that moment, think about how great you would feel is if what you ate made you feel light, if it gave you energy that lasted for the rest of the day or until your next meal. Think about if it made your brain just be so on fire and so sharp. And think about what kind of a day you would have. So a lot of times when we're trying to go to get something to eat, we feel this instant thing like, oh my gosh, I need a pick-me-up, or I need to feel good, or I just want to eat that cookie because it looks so good. Well, what I want you to think about what you're eating in the form of self-care. Think about, is this going to give me energy? Am I going to feel good? So I don't even want you to think about it in the context of losing weight. Because when we're thinking about food in the context of losing weight, what happens is it's too far removed. We think about, okay, if I eat this now, then I can make up for it later. That's the thoughts that often go through my head and through a lot of people that I work with's head. And we think later on I'll make up for it, or it doesn't matter, I don't really care about it, this looks so much better to me. But when you actually put that away and think about, does this food give me energy? Then you really are restating your relationship with food, because you're saying, I'm eating this for energy. Is it going to give me energy? And often we know that a brownie, we know that it might give us like a little pick-me-up for about 5 minutes, and then we will feel a sugar crash. And so you want to really think about that. Is what I'm eating going to give me energy? Okay, now the next thing is, I want you to think about a new mindset for food and for self-care and self-love. Now, think about like, okay, am I treating myself with care when I eat this? Am I treating myself with love by doing this? So like I've been talking about, a lot of the reasons that we use food is to give ourselves self-care, but it's unknowing. We don't even realize this relationship is happening. When you become aware of it, then you can see you're trying to make yourself feel a certain way. So when you go for something, when you have a craving and you want to eat something, are you actually loving yourself by giving yourself maybe like tons of sweets or flour or carbohydrates that are going to burn off in a second and make you feel hungrier again, and then make you eat 200, 300, 400 more calories in an hour from now? Now, are you treating yourself with love when you give yourself something, when you go for something? So I have a new way of looking at that, because there's so many delicious, amazing foods that we are giving ourselves love by eating. They're just not traditionally talked about. Like usually what's talked about is, oh my gosh, this big bowl of pasta and bread is going to be such an amazing dinner, and I'm going to really treat myself and feel good about it. Or this really nice chocolate cake, I'm going to treat myself with this chocolate cake. But I want you to flip that. I'm not saying those don't make you feel good, and I'm not saying never have those. I have them all the time, but I have them when I want them. They don't, I have control over it, more or less, not all the time, but mostly. And doesn't have control over me. But I want you to think about this. How amazing does a blueberry mint salad with tons of grilled chicken or smoked salmon or tofu on it with, it has mint, blueberries, fresh spinach. It has a lemon dressing. It's filling and it keeps you full for 4 hours. And when you're eating it, you feel so light and you feel so nourished. Think about that. Is that giving yourself love? Or is giving yourself love eating a huge sandwich that you feel tastes good, but are you really giving yourself love by that? So I want you to actually think of food in the context of self-care and self-love. Now, a couple more examples that I want to share with you around how you actually can be excited by healthy foods. A lot of times you actually have to eat different foods that most of us don't know about, or that most of us aren't really thinking about as putting as a center of our day. So a few things that are really, really exciting, and this is what I want you to do, is I want you to indulge yourself with healthy foods. Indulge, like feel amazing when you're eating these foods. Don't feel like I'm doing this because I have to lose weight, or I'm doing this because I have to, or I have to do this, or I can't fit into my clothes. No, that is a negative form of thinking. Let's make this positive. Let's indulge in healthy foods, okay? Now, a few foods I want to tell you about that are incredibly indulgent. I already told you about that blueberry mint salad, which is amazing, okay? Now, another thing is spices. I talk about spices a lot. Indulge yourself in cinnamon. Put cinnamon in your coffee. Put cinnamon on, if you're having dessert, put cinnamon on it. Put cinnamon on your oatmeal and just feel indulgent about it. Also, put turmeric in your eggs and have that anti-inflammatory boost right in the morning. Just imagine how great that will feel, okay? Put mint in your smoothie and smell that gorgeous scent. Think about how much luxury you're giving yourself. And what it's doing is it's creating an environment for you to not crave unhealthy foods, but for you to actually crave healthy foods. You will crave your eggs. You'll crave smoothies. You'll crave like healthy oatmeal. So these are things that you can do. Now, I'm so excited because I have so many suggestions for you on amazing foods that you can crave. So the other ones I want you to think about I talked a little bit about this already, is smoothies. So having a smoothie in the morning, a green smoothie with low sugar fruit and veggies. Oh my gosh, it feels so, like you feel so vibrant after you have a smoothie. So I really want you to think about craving a smoothie and putting that into your life and just feeling so excited. Imagine if you have a smoothie, you go to work, you tell your friends, I had this amazing mint strawberry smoothie this morning and I feel alive. Just think about that, okay? Because it can happen. It can very much happen. Now, another thing I think is really great is kombucha. Now, kombucha is a drink that it's an elixir that has been fermented, and it's anti-inflammatory. There's different flavors that you can buy in the store. You can also make it at home, but it's a nice drink that actually helps clean your gut bacteria. And you can drink that instead of drinking a juice or something more sugary. And you can really indulge yourself in cleaning your body out. And that's really amazing. A few other things, having tea, having a beautiful cinnamon tea, having a mint tea is really great because mint actually helps you curb your sugar cravings. Those are really luxurious things to do. And then a few other things that are a little bit aside from food, which are ways to really indulge yourself and to really give yourself this self-love is through things like infused water. So in the morning, have a pitcher of water in your fridge that has cucumber, cilantro or mint, and maybe some lime, and have it have infused all night. When you pour that in, it's going to make you crave water. you're going to feel so indulgent. And that's why you can indulge yourself in a healthy lifestyle. Now, a few other things that aren't even related to food at all or drinks are giving yourself a facial. If you give yourself a turmeric facial, turmeric is amazing for your skin. It makes it shiny and it makes it bright. And so it's really, really such a great thing. You can actually buy it at Kiehl's, or you can get any other facial. Indulge yourself in feeling good in a healthy way. And then finally, this is something that nobody talks about, but I feel is the center of really indulging yourself. And that's to learn about inner bonding, learn about how to bond with yourself, and learn about how to give yourself what you need instead of relying on external things. So what we're doing is that we're indulging ourselves. We're not depleting ourselves with processed foods and with sugars, but instead of saying no, we're saying yes. We're saying yes to these delicious foods, delicious elixirs, delicious ways of taking care of ourselves. And we are pulling ourselves up overall. Okay? So this is a new mindset for food and self-love. Okay? Now on the theme of inner bonding, I also want to share with you about my third mindset, which is only I can change my life. No one can do it for me. So I want you to know that you can rely on diets. You can rely on following other people's advice, but until you make it your own and bring it into yourself, only then you can really transform yourself. So I want you to take that personal responsibility to say, I'm done with relying on other people. It's time to rely on myself. And something that goes hand in hand with this from a weight loss perspective is give yourself the permission to lose weight. Give yourself the permission to do it. So you are the one that's going to do it. And giving yourself permission means that you're going to make exceptions in your life. Like you're going to say, I can't go here because I need to prep my food for the week. Or I decided to bring something healthy with me to this potluck that everyone will enjoy instead of just relying on everything else that's there. It's making tiny decisions along your day to give yourself that permission to lose weight because you are the only one that can do it. Now, another mindset, the fourth mindset is it's not a diet. It's a lifestyle change. Now, all of these things that I'm talking about are so much bigger than a diet, and a change in eating flows down from it because you start realizing, I want to take care of myself. I want to have this filling salad for lunch. I want to have this nutritious smoothie in the breakfast. I want to add cinnamon to my coffee and not sugar. I'm going to indulge myself in me. I'm going to take responsibility for myself. And it's not a diet. I'm changing my life. I'm actually enjoying myself more. And that's what I want you to look at eating healthier to be. Okay, the next one is it's not all or nothing. It's learning. So this is really a big one because we talk about, a lot of times we feel like if we're being healthy and we end up eating a cookie, for example, we feel like I already ate a cookie. I might as well order a pizza tonight because I already went off the wagon. So why not just completely get off? I already messed it up. So it doesn't have to be so black and white. It could be more about you're learning about, okay, I had a cookie after I was healthy all day. What happened in that moment? Was it that I didn't eat a filling enough lunch? Was it that I was stressed and I didn't know another outlet besides eating? What was happening? And it's about learning about yourself on a regular basis and not being so hard on yourself. So if you ate a cookie, that is totally fine. If you ate a chocolate cake, if you ate a pizza or 4 pieces of pizza, it's okay. But it is really great to learn about when you're having these cravings and why you're having these cravings, and also learning about what you can have with you so that you can help yourself get through those situations when they come up again. So always think about changing your lifestyle as a learning process, not as black and white and all or nothing. Now, the next mindset that's really transformational is food is fuel, not therapy. And I've talked about this before, that we often go to food to make ourselves feel comfortable or comforted, to make ourselves feel loved, or to avoid stress. And Eating food is not therapy. It's a very temporary Band-Aid that is not healthy for your skin, that is not healthy for your stomach, that is not healthy for your body. And so when you're going to food, because it's fuel, because it's giving you energy, like the first mindset that I talked about, that is powerful. So look at food as energy. Look at it as fuel. It's not therapy. Therapy is looking into yourself, into how you can change things, or talking to someone, or collaborating with people. That is how you feel more therapy. Now, finally, my seventh mindset, which will instantly transform your approach to eating, is that you can crave healthy foods instead of unhealthy foods. You can crave vegetables. Imagine craving vegetables. Imagine how easy life will be once you start craving vegetables. Well, there's ways to crave vegetables. And that's just one example of healthy food. But I want you to believe that instead of craving a donut or instead of craving pizza, you may still crave those, but you may not crave them to the level that you crave them right now. You may have a lot more control. The way that you crave pizza, though, you may crave vegetables. In fact, I've personally gone through that transformation where I used to, and I still do want pizza once in a while, but I don't crave it all the time. But I do need greens on my plate every single meal because why? It makes me feel so good. It makes me feel so lifted and so nourished. And my stomach is almost like aching for it because it keeps my body and my gut really clean. So I want you to believe in the fact that you can crave healthy foods. A lot of the times you just have to know what foods to eat. And the other thing that you want to know is how to prepare it so that it actually tastes good. And it is very possible for you to do that. So those are the 7 mindsets to instantly transform your approach to eating. I'm going to summarize them once. Now, the first one is a new mindset for self-care. Is what you're doing really giving you energy? And it's about eating for energy. The next one is a new approach to food and self-love. So is what you're eating really giving yourself love? Because that's often what we use food for, but is it really? Now, if you really want to give yourself self-love, you don't have to necessarily eat something. But if you want to eat something and give yourself self-love, think about foods like spices. Think about foods like smoothies. Think about foods like, for example, kombucha, tea, infused water. Think about giving yourself a facial or understanding what inner bonding is and really being able to solve your own problems instead of going outside by getting other things. Now, the next mindset is only I can change my life. No one can do it for me. So only you can change your life. No one can do it for you. You have to make the decision. And there's a lot of tools around you, but are you ready? And if you are, I want you to give yourself permission to do it. I want you to give yourself permission to lose weight, to have the body that you want, to feel the way that you want. And that means making those choices that will lead there. Now, the next mindset is it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle change. It's not all or nothing, it's learning. Food is fuel, not therapy, and you can crave healthy foods instead of unhealthy foods. It's very possible.